Today's Namaste Yoga is on the fifth Vayu, Vyana Vayu. Hello, welcome to episode 2. Here's our blanket. Excellent. Asymmetrical dropping and sinking up. Notice how so just notice joining us for the second episode next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 97 of Namaste Yoga. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are finishing our series on the 5 Vayus with Vyana Vayu. Before we do that, I just wanted to take a moment. I haven't read any emails lately that I received, and I received a really great one this week. So this is from Karen. She says, "Hello, Melissa. I feel so grateful to have found your podcast. I took my first yoga class back in 1974 in Kansas City." I'm like, wow, that's just like the year after I was born. That's amazing. And remained with that teacher for 10 years. I eventually taught for her until she passed away. That loss was followed by a new marriage and a move to the East Coast. I took classes with various teachers, but never found the connection I had once enjoyed. I settled into using my original teacher's audio tape until it broke this past winter. That just broke my heart when I heard that. I looked around the internet for weeks, trying one class after another until I found Namaste Yoga. You're just what I've been missing, and I wish I was closer to Toronto so I could attend your classes. I am following your class by class and enjoying the special series, the Hindu deities especially. You do from time to time a lot. Although I am very computer oriented, something has kept me away from Facebook. So this is I mentioned this because I told her to friend us on Facebook. So anyway, that's probably the best. She says, I've given your website to several friends, however, and tout your podcast to anyone who will listen. So thank you, Karen. I really appreciate that very much. And then I wanted to give a little preview of what we'll be starting to work on next week. We're going to be doing a new series, the Yoga of 9 Emotions, and I will be working from this book by Peter Marchand. It's the Tantric practice of rasa sadhana. That just means emotional practice. So we'll be working with this over the next 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks, and I just wanted to give you a heads up on that, on what's coming up. So I think that's all for today. Thank you all for your donations. The beginning of the month is always lovely because people who have subscription donations, that is, that give monthly, those donations start rolling in. And you can donate as little as $2 a month at melissawest.com. So thank you all very much for your donations. Okay, so let's get started on our final class on the 5 Vayus. You can go ahead and rest back in Shavasana, as you always do. Lie down on your back. And spend a little time getting yourself comfortable. So get any props you might need. Prop a pillow behind your head or tuck a bolster under your knees. See what works best for you. So Vyana Vayu has to do with our expansive aspect of our life force energy. It distributes healing energy throughout our entire mind and body, and it empowers the distribution of the communication systems in the body as well. Vyana Vayu translates as outward moving air. And this energy moves from the center of your body out to the periphery. So I'm wondering if we can't bring our attention to our breath in the center of our bodies. Find your center. So for me, that's right at the 3rd chakra, Annapurna. The lustrous gem of the 3rd chakra. And just allow that breath to gather and cultivate in the center and begin to spread outward to the periphery. So you can start to imagine that energy. I used the image this week in class of spokes on a wheel. Imagine breathing into the center and then feeling that breath, that energy, that vital life force expand outward to your periphery, to your limbs, to your hands, to your feet, to your head. So this Vayu coordinates all powers such as sensory awareness, and it runs through the whole network of 72,000 nadis, energy channels. It connects the functions of your nerves, veins, muscles, joints. and it circulates nutrients and energy throughout your body. When this Vayu is well balanced, it makes you feel and function as an integrated whole. And you'll probably have felt this Vayu, especially in your skin, with goosebumps and sweating. It kind of functions as an outer boundary of your energy body. So when this Vayu is weak, we might feel disjointed in our efforts. We'll experience physical illness, alienation, and anxiety at a mental level. And Hatha yoga, the physical yoga of the yoga postures, is fantastic for this Vayu because it helps with our circulatory system, our lymph system, and our nervous system. And it removes the obstacles to circulation of nutrition, energy, and information throughout our entire minds and bodies. So as you begin to absorb that information on Vyana Vayu, ask yourself what it is you hope to receive by practicing this yoga today. What's your intention? What's your sankalpa? So once you've set your sankalpa, you can begin to wiggle and stretch out. You will need a yoga strap today. We're going to begin lying on our sides. You might want to place a pillow or a folded up blanket underneath your head to keep your neck straight. And we're going to start, so I could use a little more neck support there, maybe not that much. Okay, so we're going to start by stacking our hands one on top of each other. And we're going to work with this counter rotation series that I learned from Feldenkrais a number of years ago. This is a fantastic exercise that helps you gain insight into that movement from your center to your periphery. So stacking one hand on top of the other, you're going to start to glide your top hand away from your bottom hand and then glide it back. So exhale, feel your shoulder blade move away from your spine. That's what initiates the movement, and that's how the fingers start to move. And inhale, glide it back. And then keeping your hands stacked, you're going to inhale, open your top arm, keep your spine and your back straight. Start to feel that expansion from the center out to the periphery, and then exhale and close your arm. Moving with breath to open up those nadis that run through your body. Okay, and then the next piece is inhale, circle your top arm overhead, roll onto your back, whoop, into the zucchini leaves, and exhale and roll back. So inhale, open, and exhale, circle back. And then the final part to this counter rotation series is to inhale, lift your top arm up, roll onto your back, and exhale and roll closed. And feel yourself expanding from your center, from your spine, out to your periphery, to your limbs, to your fingertips. And then on this last one, just stay rolled open. Feel that Vyana Vayu moving from the center, from your spine, energy moving out to your periphery. And then roll onto your back. And just pause for a moment and feel the difference between the right and left side of your body. And see if you don't feel better energy flow in the side that was moving just a moment ago. Okay, then we're going to move over onto our other side. So you can roll over. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale here. Exhale, glide your spine, your shoulder blade away from your spine, and inhale, glide back. And do make sure your knees are bent up at a 90-degree angle here. And then keep your spine straight. Inhale, open your top arm. And exhale, close. Okay, from here, the circling arm overhead. Inhale, overhead. And exhale, down and around, rolling onto your back as you do this one. And then the final one, inhale, roll open onto your back. Exhale and roll close. And then on this last one, just stay rolled open. And then lie on your back, and we'll just check that out. So lie on your back. Take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And just check in and see how that energy flow is moving in your body. Sense if you can feel the spokes on the wheel. Originating breath from the center and feeling movement out to the periphery. Okay, now you're going to need your strap. Take your strap and hook it around your right foot. Draw your right leg up. This is another great one to experience Vyana Vayu. Your leg actually works like a spoke on a wheel here. Keep your core, your torso, your pelvis, your shoulders, your head grounded. This can be your center here. And this is moving out to the periphery. And see if you can breathe right out through the back of your leg. And then open your right leg out to the side. Once again, feel grounded through your left leg, your torso, your shoulders, your head, and let your right leg be this energy moving out from the center. So when we practice yoga like this, we open up all these 72,000 nadis, energy channels in our body, removing obstructions so that energy and nutrients can flow freely in the body. And then bring your right leg back to the center and slowly cross it over your body. Keep your pelvis on the ground here. So be an intense stretch on the outside of your right leg. Okay, bring your leg back center. Release it down to the ground and just take a moment to check in and feel that. See if you can't feel more energy moving down through your right leg now. And then hook up your left leg. Extend it straight up. And then open your left leg out to the side. And bring your leg back center. And slowly cross it over your body. You don't need to cross it very far to get a fairly intense stretch along the outside of your leg. Keep drawing your leg in. And then you can release your left leg to the ground and feel what's going on with your left leg. And now, in fact, you can check in with your whole body because we've worked from the center out to the periphery through your arms and through your legs now. And just check in and see what that feels like. See if you can't feel more of that energy flow through your 72,000 nadis from your center out to your extremities, outward moving air. Okay, and then bend your knees and roll to your side and roll over onto your stomach. Don't know how that got there. Okay. So on your stomach, you can rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. Press the front of your pelvis into the ground so your low back is long. Inhale here. Exhale, lengthen long through your right leg until it reaches off the ground. Keep grounded through the front of your pelvis. So again, moving from your center out to your periphery. And slowly lower your right leg down. Just wiggle your hips from side to side to release your low back. Keep sinking your sit bones towards your ankles. Press your pubic bone into the ground and lengthen long through your left leg until it reaches off the ground. Slowly lower your left leg to the ground. Wiggle your hips from side to side. You can even bend your knees in windshield wiper your legs to release your low back. Okay, and then you're going to reach your arms long in front of you. Tuck your tail under. Inhale here. Exhale, lengthen through both legs. Lift your chest off the ground and reach your arms forward. So really, this is like Vyana Vayu, just reaching from your center out to your periphery through all your limbs. And then slowly lower down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up onto all fours. Sit back on your heels into child's pose for your counter pose. Okay, and then inhale up onto all fours. I'm going to do a little bit of cat pose and moving from cat pose. So spread your fingers nice and wide. Exhale, round up through your back. And inhale, arch through your back. And then slide your left leg to the back of the mat and your right hand to the front of your mat and lift your arm and leg off the ground. Really reach out through your limbs. And bring your arm and leg down. Let's do that on the other side. So extend through your right leg and your left arm, and then lift them off the ground. Really reach out. Come back onto all fours. Sit back on your heels and stretch out your low back. And then inhale back up onto all fours. We're going to try something else from cat pose. So take your left leg back. You're going to rotate your left arm up. And then pick your left leg off the ground. So you really need to be strong in your center here, in your core, to move out from the periphery. So remember, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, to keep your core strong here. And then bring your arm and leg in. And let's do that on the other side. So extend your right leg back. You're going to roll your right hip open. Open your right arm. And then pick your right leg up off the ground. Stay strong in your core. So you can expand out into the periphery, Vyana Vayu. Great, and then come back to the center. Going to take a step forward with your right leg for lunge pose. Sink down through your front right foot. Tuck your tail under, come upright, and then expand outwards. And slowly lower down. Let's switch sides on that one. So walk your left leg forward. Sink down through your front left foot. Tuck your tail under. Find your center. And really here your center is in your pelvis and dropping your tail. And then inhale and arc up. So feel your center in your hara here and feel the expansion outward. Okay, and then slowly lower down and come on back. Let's just do a down dog as a counter pose here. Okay, and then come on down. We're going to do some work moving from our core to our periphery again. So these are definitely core conditioning exercises. Going to start on your right elbow directly underneath your right shoulder and extend your legs straight out beside you, and then bend your knees back. You're going to be moving from your core, from your rib cage especially. So pull your rib cage away from your shoulder until your pelvis comes off the ground. Line up your top hip bone right on top of your bottom hip bone and expand outwards through your top hand. And really use your core to lift out of your shoulders. And slowly lower down. Let's do that on your left side now. So this one, a lot of people often complain to me about their shoulders. And the fact of the matter is, once your core is strong enough to lift your weight out of hanging in your shoulder joint, it won't bother your shoulders anymore. So keep working on it and keep pulling your core away from your joint, from your shoulder joint. So here, let's just do our left side. Line up your body in a straight line. Bend your knees back on your left elbow here. Pull your rib cage away from your shoulder until your hips come off the ground. Stack your hip bones and then expand outwards. Okay, slowly lower down. We're going to come back to our first side, and I'm going to give you some options for expanding this further. So on your right elbow, extend your legs out. Okay, so option here to bend your knees, so you can come up the same way you did before, and lift your rib cage away from your pelvis. Okay, so here's one option, is to extend your top leg out and reach your arm up. And then another option is to lift that leg. Okay, so you can stay with any one of those. I'm going to give you one more option, is to, see how I want to do this. Take your feet wide on the mat so you've got a strong base. And lift your pelvis up off the ground. And then lift your top leg. Great. Okay, let's try that on the other side. You can choose what option works best for you. Let's see. So, bend your knees back. Here's all the options again. Lift your rib cage away from your shoulder to lift your pelvis off the ground. Reach up. Option to extend your top leg out to lift it up off the ground. Or to take your bottom leg out as you can stay here or lift it off the ground. Very good. Okay, let's make our way into down dog, and then from down dog we'll come up to standing. So spread your fingers nice and wide, tuck your toes under, reach your hips up. So here your center, really your point of center is your hands and your feet, and you're expanding out through your spine, out through your sit bones into the periphery here. So things change a little bit in this orientation. And then walk your feet into your hands and roll yourself up to standing. Okay, from standing, we're going to continue to work with Vyana Vayu, moving from our center to our periphery. For me, when I stand, my center is really right here at my third chakra, just above my navel. I'm going to inhale, take your arms overhead. And exhale, sink down through your opposite foot as you side bend away from it. And then inhale, center. Exhale, reach down through your foot that you're moving away from and side bend to the other side. Stay open through your heart here. Inhale up to center, exhale, lower your arms down. So in working with Vyana Vayu, moving from our center to our periphery, for our breath practice today, for our pranayama, we're going to work with breath of joy. For me, this is a very expansive breath that moves from our center to our periphery. So you're going to inhale, bring your arms out in front a little bit. Inhale a little bit more, your arms come out to the side. Inhale overhead, all the way in. And exhale, bend your knees. So little breath in, a little bit more, exhale. Front, side, overhead, exhale. Okay, probably want to stay down when you finish, and then slowly come up so you don't get dizzy. Okay, and then another fantastic pose, moving from your center to your periphery. that I love is half moon balancing pose. So stand towards the front of your mat. If you have a block, it's great to work with a block here, helps a little bit. You're going to fold forward. Place your block underneath your left hand. Take your right leg up behind you and open up your right hip. Extend your right leg out. And then lift your right arm up. Stay strong through your core. Mula bandha, udana bandha. It's very difficult to balance on. This ground is so uneven. Okay, let me try my block that way for a more solid base. Okay, here we go. Okay. Expand outwards. Drop through your pelvic floor. Draw your navel back to your spine. And then you can start to turn your head. This makes balancing more challenging because it involves your inner ear. But you might be able to look at your fingertips as well. Whew. Little wobbly this morning. Okay. Shall we try the other side? Maybe it'd be a different story. Maybe that side was good for you. Okay, so you're going to come into standing forward fold. Extend your left leg up. Open your left hip. Open your left arm up. Feel your center expand out to the periphery. Okay, and then come back up to standing. Roll your shoulders back and down. Great. So I'm going to get you to rest back for Shavasana. Lie down and take 5 to 10 minutes to integrate your practice. And I want you to reflect back on the 5 Vayus. Prana Vayu, that upward moving energy. Apana Vayu, that downward moving energy. Samana Vayu, that integrating energy. Udana Vayu, that meditative quality from your throat up and into your head. And then finally this week, Vyana Vayu, that movement from the center to the periphery, which follows so fabulously from cultivating that meditative energy and then moving it outwards. So when you reflect back on all of that, just notice what stands out to you and what you're going to be taking away with you from this series as we move into our next series on yoga for the emotions. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Namaste Yoga. Episode 97, only 3 weeks to our 100th episode. Namaste.